could be used which actually fit into the skull, as opposed to getting some big bulgy eyes that are just going to look out of proportion and not look like a human at all.
Yeah, and you guys might be thinking, why are they using different parts of these animatronics to get out? Well, I personally believe that, well, we all think that basically what is happening here is that each of the animatronics have different mimicking abilities and different special abilities, such as Funtime Foxy, he can mimic a parent's voice, whereas Funtime Freddy, he can actually make new recordings and record in that voice that you hear, but say different things. And also Ballora is used as a distraction. When they're all used together, they are the perfect killing machine. So imagine all of those animatronics parts splashed into one big animatronic and then put inside a human.
Following on from Ryan's point, we want to discuss how Ennard is completed as the nights go on. Each night a different animatronic is scooped and Ennard gets a new ability. With these new abilities, Baby/Ennard is then able to mimic Baby's voice and then use this to manipulate us to reach their end goal, which is to wear us as a human suit. The main question is, and the most important one I think at this point, is who is Ennard exactly? How does Ennard fit into the story? And is Ennard really the only animatronic that is possessed in this location?
So when you actually look at Ennard's jump scare on night 5, the endoskeleton head doesn't seem to match with any of the other animatronics. Here's a comparison, as you can see. None of the heads match with this endoskeleton. We possibly thought that Funtime Freddy could be it, but the jury's completely different. Now, remember the minigame in Sister Location? Scott has added a really, really nice detail on Baby. The eyes are blue and not green. The theory could possibly be that Baby from the previous location, Baby's Pizza World, had the original blue endoskeleton and killed the child. Now, to get rid of evidence, the company scooped out the old endoskeleton to get rid of all the evidence and replaced it with a new one with green eyes. And this would make sense as to why the blue-eyed endoskeleton is the little girl who got killed there, and also explains why it's got blue eyes and is possessed.
Exactly, and this is another crucial point as well we can go off right here, because if we actually look at the new Baby in the intro shots, it's got green eyes, and on night 5, if you actually look before Baby is scooped, the endoskeleton is still within there, meaning that Ennard could be formed with the blue eyes and could actually be the Baby that killed this little girl initially, and the new endoskeleton could almost be like a homage to the little girl who was killed, with now having the green eyes. And it actually makes sense as to why we have Baby talking to us through possibly the blue girl, and there's also some more hints to this in the fake ending, which we'll be covering very, very soon. But you see how this is all starting to now align up, because it seems like the blue eyes of Baby in the minigame is not insignificant. Scott knows that Baby has green eyes, and that's how he built her. So the difference here is there for a reason, and the fact that Ennard also has these blue eyes means it makes the most sense. And it actually makes sense then why there might be some revenge here and why we get scooped even to begin with, because this was a little girl who had this kind of contraption suck her in. She didn't even want that. She just wanted to go and see the invention to begin with. And maybe she's been trapped down here. Maybe her soul is still within the suit, and she just wants to get out and be free again.
Having the little girl control or possess Ennard then makes complete sense, because it uses little snippets in the fake ending as well to almost manipulate again the player that we are as, whether or not we're playing as the father, the son, or anything like that. It doesn't matter. What the fact that we do have is that a voice that we have not heard before is used in there and pretending to be the little girl. So that makes sense then, because Freddy and that can't mimic, they can't use a voice that they've not heard in this establishment. So it does kind of make sense that the soul is then able to control and maybe even have overriding power over the rest of it. And it would add a beautiful spin on the story as well, that Afton not only has created a daughter and created animatronics, but now he's got both in one. Is that not just the most beautiful, perfect ending?
Further backing this up as well in the fake end is when we actually pass 4 AM, we start to hear for the first time relics of the little girl's voice again, now being spoken through what appears to be a speaker system, and we know that whoever is controlling the Baby animatronic knows how to do this, and it is most likely Ennard. So it just makes sense, the fact that Ennard has this link to the little girl, that she may actually be possessing Ennard, or as we're calling him, Ennard. And I think that's what kind of makes this whole theory have a little bit more relevance, as opposed to just not meaning anything and being completely speculative.
Yeah, exactly. But just remember, guys, that this is just one side of the theory. You could actually contradict our theory and say Ennard is not actually the little daughter, and he's mimicking during that, it would jump scare us
Yeah.
and kill us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Ennard's last legs. He's desperate. He needs to get us. He needs to get into our body, and he's mimicking